Well, I am one to say you should never try to predict the future, because the future is just way too chaotic. But I predict that people will have no major issues with the first half of the video, but when I start getting critical of Natalie, oh boy, the insults are going to come out. But it is what it is. I understand. So let's get right to it. Even if you don't know much about Scientology or anti Scientology, the issue of the money and where is the money going is something you kind of can't avoid. And whatever you think about these various personalities, DOA, Aaron Smith Levin, Natalie, or the other SPTV people, the issue of money is right there. It's front and center. So you ask, who are these people? Well, it doesn't really matter. Details aside, they are linked to an alleged nonprofit foundation called the SPTV Foundation. And we'll put aside just how stupid that name is. Like, SPTV Foundation? Is it like a lobbying group for television regulations? No, no, no. You're very naive. See, SPTV Foundation just means it's a foundation with people who call themselves SPTV people. They're basically just friends of Aaron. It's a foundation composed of his friends and allies. He could have just called it the Aaron Corporation, and that would have been more honest. But let's get to insulting DOA first, because he is a hell of a mess. So, allegedly, DOA a while ago lost his car in an accident. Now, he did show that the vehicle did sustain some damage, which I think is fine. The accident is real. I believe him there. But then his photos to prove the accident are they're a little bit iffy. But in any case, he's okay, and he's back with a much bigger car. Like, where to get the money for that? Well, you see, them's them donations. So, hey, listen, if he wants money and people are willing to give him money, that's fine. I'm just wondering, like, how is this linked to anti Scientology? I mean, it's like, okay, it's nice. You got a bigger ride. How does that link up to anti Scientology? Don't know, but apparently it's all for the cause. I mean, what's next? A private jet? Guys, I need a GoFundMe for my jet. I need to get to locations to protest. I need my jet. Now, to be fair, this is very normal in Hollywood. We have these big celebrities, and I may like them, you may like them. I have no issue with personally with Leonardo DiCaprio, but it is a little hilarious that Leo will show up at environmental protests, and he got there through his private jet. There you go. That's the wave of the future revolutionaries. We all need private jets for our protests. And there we are. But DOA, like Aaron, is a simple target because, again, really, if the SPTV Foundation just exists to take in donations, it's not much of a nonprofit. And we don't really have secure numbers because it's not really a real, genuine nonprofit. They don't really account for where the money is going. So, roughly, Aaron has said they have 50,000 in the bank. Now, is that coming from him? Was that in the foundation? Because Aaron, and I will do a more full video on this, and if you want more on Aaron and other escapades, please sign up for a channel membership. I'm not here to pump people for money, but there's just a lot of material I have to work through. So let's keep it simple. So roughly, Aaron makes about 90,000, maybe 90 to 100,000 from his YouTube channel. Oh, and by the way, when you go to the SPT Foundation and you click on the various board members, it takes you to their YouTube sites. Okay, all right. It just seems to be kind of a cooperative, really, to pool their resources. Okay, well, so roughly they should have at least whatever 30 to 60,000 to work with. And the members are still asking for more money. So Natalie had her husband pass away recently, which is tragic. Originally her GoFundMe was around 25,000, which seems reasonable, right? She has to pay for expenses like funeral and things like that. But then they bumped it up to 50,000. Wait, why 50,000? Oh, she wants to go to Hawaii. She wants to go to Hawaii with her sons, and they want to spread the husband's ashes. Well, that's all well and nice, but let's be honest here. That's not necessary. If she wants to go to Hawaii and she has her own YouTube channel and Aaron is her friend, why not just pay for your own trip? But instead, they're trying to get the fans to pay an extra $20,000. Now, again, if they want to do that, that is fine. That is their money. But you really got to be asking questions like, what does this have to do with anti Scientology? We're just here to help Natalie. Hey, that is totally legit. But we still have questions because Natalie, you see, is the treasurer. Yes, she's the official treasurer of the SPTV Foundation. Now, of course, like I said, it's not a real foundation. So does she do any real accounting? Probably not. And I think you have to forewarn these people, listen, just because people give you donations and they're naive enough to do that, there are still regulations. It may be a private corporation, there are still regulations. You have to watch out where the money is coming from, how you're getting it, the amounts. You do have to watch out for these things. And her official title is treasurer, but thus far, we have had zero accounting. We have no idea how much money they get, who they're getting it from, the amounts, or even where the money is being spent. And again, if Aaron, as a friend, wants to give the money to Natalie, that is fine, but we have to be brutally honest. It has nothing to do with anti Scientology. So why are you raising money on that proposition? Because that's what they're saying. This is for the victims and survivors, and we're here to stop the Scientology. But what does the SBTV Foundation do to actually stop Scientology? And using the funds to stop Scientology, we don't know. And recently, Natalie got really annoyed that somebody, maybe, we really don't even know that, is committing fraud because they're using her image and her name for Facebook. And already the fans are leaping to, this is Scientology. This is clearly an OSA operation. Well, maybe, maybe not. But I think these guys just don't realize, listen, and DOA is totally embracing this role. If you become a celebrity and you become a brand and you literally promote yourself as a celebrity, you do lose some legal protections because the police and the FBI and the courts will say, well, you may not like it and I may not like it, but now that you put your name out there, both your real name and your fake name, it can be taken by others for purposes of parody or commentary or other purposes. Again, there is no law saying I can't call myself Matt Damon. If I want to call myself Matt Damon, I can call myself Matt Damon. What I can't do is put out services falsely claiming I'm Matt Damon. I cannot claim to be the real Matt Damon and as an actor be in your film project. But I can call myself Matt Damon. There's no law against this. And by the way, this is fact. This is not fiction. For instance, Michael Keaton, that's not his real name. Is he committing fraud? No. His real name just happens to be too close to another actor's name, so out of respect, he decided to change his name. You can have a fake name out in public. That's not against the law. So now you might say, well, even if it's not illegal, you shouldn't be doing it. Well, I'm not sure what the moral standard is for the SBTV Foundation people. It just seems like we get the money, we share it among ourselves. We ask for more money, we share it among ourselves. Now, it is a kind of certain morality, but I don't say it's a very noble morality. It just seems like, okay, you're getting people to give you money and you keep the money and you ask for more money. I mean, I guess it's a morality, but then if somebody tries to use your name to get their own kind of money, and again, if they're not breaking the law, so what? I mean, if the foundation of your ethics is just money, then if other people do kind of sleazy things for the money, you're in no position to criticize them. And Natalie is getting really, aggressive, saying, this is the wrong time to mess with me. F around. Okay, well, what if they do F around? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to call a lawyer? Is this even violating any policies? Did they do anything wrong? Again, when you make these choices to become a celebrity, to join a foundation, which is not a real foundation, there are consequences. And you can say, well, she's mourning. We don't need to ask her these questions right now. That's true, but we know in 2 months, 3 months, what's the magic number? She's not going to answer any questions. We know that. In like 3 months, is she really going to do any accounting? And can these numbers be verified? Let's say she does the right thing. She publishes some numbers to guide us where the donations are going. So now we know these are the donations. Again, we don't know if these numbers are real. So it's just a very murky situation. So at this point, I would just advise people, frankly, you just cannot trust this foundation. There's no reason to think it is a legitimate foundation and not give it any money. That's just being neutral. But hey, if you want to give them money, that's fine. But these people getting angry about fraud or using a fake name to raise money, Yeah, that's what you've been doing for months and months. So I'm not seeing who is the good guy and bad here. I'm not seeing who's the good guy and bad guy here. It seems like this is all a very murky, very ugly gray area. But that's the place you put yourselves in when you deal with DOA and Aaron Smith Levin. You're going to be in a very morally iffy place when it comes to business.